Hey y'all, come on in. So I heard that PORSHA responded to Dr. Simone during an interview with the Breakfast Club. She also shared her thoughts on Kenya's situation. And can we talk about the COLESLAW interviews, Mad Day Part 2? Before we do, let me introduce myself. For those that don't know, I am Sasha, and on this channel, I react to and report on celebrity news, gossip, and reality TV. Now, let's get into it. So it looks like Simone got exactly what she was looking for when she sent for PORSHA, because PORSHA ended up sitting down with the radio show, and as soon as she did, they asked her about Simone. Well, she couldn't hold back. She called out the good doctor for wearing what she called doodle on the top of her head. PORSHA says she was surprised that Simone had anything to say about her, especially since they've never even met. She says she doesn't know where all this is coming from, but she will see it to the end. Now, Dr. Simone was mad at Phaedra and thought it was a good time to send for the housewives, starting with PORSHA, calling her the meanest girl on TV, as if people wouldn't point out how she brought up the loss of Quad's niece while they were having a disagreement on that reunion episode, as Quad sat there trying to get her to stop talking and leave it alone, but Simone didn't. You could tell that Quad was upset, and Simone kept going anyway. Simone ignored the expression in Quad's face, since you could clearly tell that she wanted Simone to shut the fuck up. You're not about to tell me that she didn't notice, because she was looking right at her. Even after Quad started to cry, Simone kept going. Simone was upset with Quad because when she reached out to her, Quad did not respond the way she thought Quad should have, which is expected. Some people choose to be alone while they're mourning, and Simone should be ashamed of herself. She had no problem bringing up that baby, and I just think that it was out of pocket. It wasn't her story to tell, and she should have left it alone. And because of how mean and disrespectful it was, she got ate up in those comments. Now, some fans of both shows think that this emerging feud is all an act and just another attempt to fool the audiences. Still, there are those who think that Simone is just jealous of the money and effort put into the success of the Housewives versus Married to Medicine, not really getting that same type of support from the network. Now, PORSHA didn't stop at just talking about Simone's updo. While talking to Charlemagne, Kenya's name was brought up, and PORSHA didn't hesitate to defend her over that incident that took place while they were trying to film the upcoming season. Kenya held an event at her shop for a new cast member that ended when Kenya displayed some illicit photos of that said cast member. The rumor is that the newbie had earlier threatened to pump Kenya full of lead, and PORSHA called it out, saying that the newbie said some dangerous things to Kenya. PORSHA talked about how Kenya seemed to be different this season. There was really no drama with her, and she seemed to be chilled up until that point when the threat was made. PORSHA said what Kenya did was wrong. However, she should be allowed to participate in the reunion and be allowed to return to the show. But how do you feel about that? Do you agree? Now, let's talk about that audio being shared of COLESLAW bearing her heart and soul to yet another content creator. And this one, just like the last, has decided to expose their conversations, calling it Mad Day. Slaw talked about how the fans were in a trauma bond with Mel, and she's still not wanting to take any responsibility for her part, but pointing the finger at the show and the way it made her look. She had the nerve to say that her and Mel were getting along fine, as if they were becoming BFFs, which is proof of the delusion she lives in. Slaw bragged about her daughter doing well in school, will graduate with an associate degree. And to that, I say congrats to that baby for having the ability to push through regardless of her current environment. Now, I don't know when these calls were recorded, but Slaw talks about coming to her senses and looking at Martell like the clown that he is. She seemed to have accepted that Martell is not who she thought he was. Quote, "You had a whole empire with this lady, and you couldn't seem to get it together. But isn't that what we've been saying this entire time?" Slaw admitted that she wanted Mel to have full custody of the 4-piece nuggets so that Martell could be free of responsibility. In her mind, that would allow Martell to get his life together. She maliciously spoke about Mel, jealous that she has a team helping her with her kids. Slaw has convinced herself that if Martell was in Mel's position, he too would do well. But I disagree. Martell has had the same access as Mel. He chose to use his time differently. While she was working hard on her product and productions, he was busy plotting on her, and when he wasn't doing that, he was laid up with whichever one he picked for the night. And if I remember correctly, you were in agreement with him severing all business ties with his ex at the time of their divorce. But now you want to compare him to her, which I think is hilarious. What's even funnier is that she started to side with Mel, calling her a smart, bad bitch who got tired of his shenanigans and had the sense to leave. Then started to say what she would do if she was in her shoes. But you're not. You say you never wanted her life, but you're still laying up with Lil Buddy and having conversations about her in a situation that she ended almost 4 years ago. The content creator plays along with her throughout the interview. He compliments her growth, and she's grateful. How did she fall for this twice? The first lady she talked to exposed it all, even Slaw saying that Martell likes the boys. She said it's time for her to try something different because Mel bossed up on both of them, and did. I think that Martell and Slaw will not see any success together, and I'm going to leave it right there. But what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. That's all I have for this one. If you like the video, support the channel and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one.